So the One Punch Man manga is unfortunately going on an extended break. We were supposed to get a new chapter last Wednesday, like we typically do every bi-weekly Wednesday, we get a new chapter, but this time we didn't. We actually got an update from Murata himself. Murata is the artist of the One Punch Man manga, not the writer or the creator, that is one. A lot of people get confused about that sometimes. But anyway, what Murata said was, "Sorry for keeping you waiting. Due to various circumstances, the next update for the Tona Jump version of One Punch Man will be on Thursday, July 17th. We apologize for the inconvenience, but please wait a little longer." So, yeah, it looks like they're going to go on break for 2 months at this point. Yeah, that sucks, but I'm not really mad at it personally. I mean, I've been dealing with this for years now, and I say dealing with it like it's like a big inconvenience to me. It's like I'm obviously grateful that they are producing this series. They can do whatever they want. But what I mean is that they've done this before. Throughout the years of me covering this, they have gone on monthly breaks, multi-month breaks before. It's normal, and I think a lot of mangakas in general should just do this. They should just take months off at a time to like recuperate themselves, because they are constantly stressed out with meeting these deadlines and everything. Luckily with One Murata, they don't really have deadlines the way that like Shonen Jump magazine authors do. They kind of just come and go as they please, and they choose to have like that bi-weekly upload schedule. And it's also unfortunate because they had just finished the Ninja arc. The Ninja arc, which has become infamous at this point. For the last 2 years, it had been retconned and redrawn like 3 times, I think, or something. And then we finally got the finished product, and now they're taking a break. And it's fine. I mean, it's going to strain the internet One Punch Man community for sure. Because, they're already struggling to keep up with this series because of the retcons and the redraws, not knowing exactly what's going on. Viz and the other official sites not having the perfect continuities in their chapters collection. So it is kind of a mess right now, and this break is certainly not helping things. But I don't think it's going to end people's enjoyment or interest in it. This comes and goes. It's like peaks and valleys. Battle manga on the internet and its community, kind of like the stock market, highs and lows. Sometimes it's low for quite a while, but then it eventually picks back up, and that is the case with One Punch Man for sure. It has hit its highs and lows, and this is unfortunately just one of those low periods that we're just gonna have to get through. But when the manga does come back in July, a little less than 2 months from now, it's going to be great for sure. And I just wonder what they're going to do, because technically we have already seen the next part of the story. Like, not just in the webcomic. In the webcomic, we've seen tons more of the story, like years and years into the future of the story if you follow the webcomic, which I won't spoil anything in this video. I'm assuming a lot of the people that are watching this are just manga only, and that's fine. I do follow the webcomic. Whenever those chapters are released, one kind of just does it whenever he wants. There's no specific schedule to it, but I do cover it anytime it does come out. I have a back catalog of covering all of the webcomic chapters that have come out for like the last 6 years at this point. So you can check out my playlists on that, or you can just subscribe and then it'll randomly pop up in your feed. Whenever the chapter comes out, I'll have a breakdown video of it for sure. But anyway, like I was saying, what we actually saw in the future of the story happened in one of the previous retcons of the Ninja arc. It was actually the last one that had happened, I think last year, maybe. And it's when the story kind of pivots away from Blast, Empty Void, and Flash, and Sonic for a little bit, and it goes over to the Neo Heroes side of things. The Neo Heroes are like the new rival hero organization that's popped up as a competitor to the Hero Association. And I'll give you somewhat of a quick rundown of what we saw in those stretch of chapters. It was like the previous chapter 202 through chapter 206. But real quick guys, GamerSupps just dropped a new flavor in collaboration with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure called Ocean Stone Fruit. It has a nice refreshing fruity flavor to it, and it comes in caffeine and caffeine free, where you'll still get the focus and clarity from the nootropics, but just without the caffeine jitters. They're also releasing JoJo themed shaker cups as well, so you're gonna have to grab those fast because they usually go within like 48 hours. So check the link in the description and make sure you use code BIGZ for 10% off. Thanks guys. It starts off with us seeing Suiryu. He's finally getting out of the hospital. Yes, from getting beat up by Koketsu and Bakuzan all the way back in season 2, in the Super Fight Tournament arc. He's getting out of the hospital now, and he's like just walking down the street. And he plans on joining the Hero Association because, that's what Saitama inspired him to do. But he suddenly comes across this demon level monster getting destroyed by one of the new Neo leaders by the name of Webigaza. She's kind of like a cross between a My Mask and Genos. And once he finds out that she's a part of the Neo Heroes, he's like, oh, well, let me go check it out. Why not? Might as well. And once he goes there for like a little trial run, he puts on one of their battle suits. This is going to be really integral to this Neo Hero arc that we're eventually going to get into. And he winds up like accidentally breaking it because he's just such a beast. And because he breaks it, he now owes them like a couple million in yen, which is like hundreds of thousands of dollars, I think. So he has to be a Neo leader, essentially, to pay back the suit. This is like a fun little way of getting him into the Neo Heroes, because in the webcomic continuity, Suiryu just immediately joins the Neo Heroes. He doesn't have that come to light moment with Saitama in that continuity. So he never really had incentive to join the Hero Association in the first place. So after Suiryu reluctantly joins the Neo Heroes, he comes to this meeting where we get to meet all of the Neo leaders, which are essentially like the S-class of the Neo Heroes. There he meets like their manager, commissioner type of character, I guess you can call him, McCoy. He's there via like hologram. And we also see that Child Emperor, Metal Bat, and Darkshine have joined the Neo Heroes as well. Child Emperor going by Wild Emperor now. He joined it along with Sekengar as well, and Metal Bat, to kind of just like be on the inside of the Neo Heroes. And right now they are still, with the Hero Association, but they do acknowledge that it is corrupt. But they're more so working on the inside of the Neo Heroes to try to figure out what's going on with them, because they are very suspicious of them, as you should be. Darkshine's kind of just doing his own thing, trying to figure himself out, trying to overcome his PTSD that he had coming out of the Monster Association arc. So he's kind of just like a trainer for them now. He's essentially unable to fight. And we see that when we get introduced to one of the big Neo leaders, and it's this guy, Raiden. Raiden is the former Yokozuna of Super Sumo, where only Rikishi over 3 meters and 400 kilograms are allowed to enter the ring. He's definitely S-class level, and he kind of intimidates Darkshine and almost like overpowers him completely. But Raiden realizes that Darkshine is messed up, like mentally for sure, and he's like, okay, I understand. It seems you're not in the best condition right now. Or perhaps, you're past your prime. Now, aside from him, we also get introduced to Ryuman, who is the boss of the Ryuman gang, which has 400 members. He's essentially like a Yakuza guy that's come around to the good side, essentially. Now he wants to be a hero. It remains to be seen how strong he is, but he seems to have some kind of connection with Metal Bat. Not like a pre-established one, but like, how they're both like those rough around the edges, Bancho type of characters. They like kind of have this clash of personalities. Then we're introduced to Excel, who is the leader of a vigilante group named the Hunters. It remains to be seen how powerful he is too, but he seems to be somewhat formidable. Then we have Infelsinave, who is the founder of the Church of the Otherworldly Incarnation. He's essentially a cult leader, and they're using Infelsinave to use his followers to like boost the reputation of the Neo Heroes, essentially. Then we have Zaditz, who is like this really rich guy who's financially backing the Neo Heroes. He's probably not like a fighter, but it remains to be seen with him, to be honest. Then we come back to Webigaza, the character that we got introduced to in the beginning of this whole sequence with Suiryu, the character I said was a cross between a My Mask and Genos. She's like a hugely popular idol singer who's riding high and has overwhelming support from teenagers. And after a 6-month hiatus from being like an idol, she endured various human experiments, and she is returned as an enhanced human. And her goal is to like surpass My Mask as like an idol hero. So yeah, like I said, cyborg idol, a My Mask type character. And as we've seen, she can easily take out demon levels, so she's pretty powerful. Then we're introduced to A, who is a hitman with a special A-class bounty. He seems to be like a straight up evil guy, so that's like his role here. Don't know how strong he is yet. Maybe not S-class level, remains to be seen. We're also seeing the security of the Neo Heroes, and it's these two characters, Element and Destro. They used to be mercenaries, and it turns out that they have a cyborgification level of like 94 and 95%. which is implied to be incredibly powerful because Webigaza herself is only over 71%, and it was stated that even the cyborg fighters in the cyborg fight have a modification rate of about 30%, and cyborgification over 60% is extremely dangerous, and successful cases are rare. So yeah, these guys are for sure dragon level in strength, definitely S-class, I'm assuming. And then finally, we're introduced to the leader of the Neo Heroes and the Neo Leaders, and it's a character by the name of Blue, who is straight up Blast's son, or at least allegedly. He's also 16 years old, and that's pretty much all we know at this point. And he does have the same eyes as Blast, so that's something. We saw in the previous retcon that Blast had wound up marrying the sister of Empty Void, and they wound up having Blue, but that story kind of got thrown to the side. We don't know if that is going to come back into the new continuity or not. But as of right now, this is pretty much all we know. Blue seems to be about justice, seems like he wants to do the right thing, and that's where we left off. So we're probably for sure going to get back into that, but maybe they'll change it up a little bit. Hopefully they release all of these chapters at the same time. But that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. And if you liked the video, please give it a like. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.